It's nearly the end of 2019, and you know what that means. Top lists everywhere. But naturally, it is a perfect time for self-reflection. Time to take a look at what worked in the 20-teens and see what didn't. So it is in this spirit that I'll be jumping on the bandwagon to do my part to help pulverize that horse as I welcome you back to Top Scores. I am SuperDerek, and these are my top 5 favorite moments in the game collection.
Number 5. Sega Saturn haul.
As a video game collector, there may be nothing as bittersweet as the recurring dream of coming across a thrift store haul or video game store with a fantastic game at a ridiculously low price. I have talked about it from time to time, and other people have talked about having the same dream. But what happens when that dream is really happening? Well, on August 28th of 2015, 2 days after I turned 29, I experienced that firsthand when I bought a mass of Sega Saturn games for $50 from a thrift shop, completely blind. I took that haul home and streamed the unboxing live, and what follows was 13 minutes of absolute astonishment as I unpacked game after game, some of which I knew and some that I didn't, including a legendary find of Magic Knight Ray Earth. I somehow ended up with about $2,000 worth of loose Sega Saturn games, which is a haul not many are likely to ever encounter again, and one that I am certain I will never top.
Holy oh no! Oh no! Magic Knight Ray Earth, oh my...
Number 4. Sword of Mana Skit.
The game collection has never been about special effects or comedy sketches, but every once in a while I get this urge to stretch my creative legs for a bit, and taking the number 5 spot is exactly one of those moments. Sword of Mana was a fun remake of Final Fantasy Adventure and featured some gorgeous sprite art that I couldn't wait to put to use. And with the help of a makeshift green screen, I found myself face to face with a rather inhospitable host.
Hello? Oh. Hey, I saw you guys had a garage sale sign out front. I was wondering if you guys had any video games, any old Nintendo or Sega games.
Number 3. Kingdom Hearts Series Review.
One thing I do from time to time is play through a bunch of games in a series back to back to help me see the progression of a series over time. I started this with Breath of Fire and have done series reviews of Suikoden, Persona, Dot Hack, and part of Dragon Quest and the Mana series. But perhaps it was the Kingdom Hearts series that was the biggest struggle overall. 10 videos in total, spanning nearly 90 minutes in just 5 months. Burnout doesn't begin to describe what I felt by the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. But to this day, the culmination of all of those efforts in my review of Kingdom Hearts 3 remains one of my proudest moments in a review that remains one that I am most proud of, despite the burnout and despite the review's lukewarm performance. I mean, after all, if this was just going to be a video about the reviews that got the most views, I'd be talking about Persona and Breath of Fire right now.
And now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go play something completely different.
Number 2. The Friends I've Made.
Something that I didn't understand about YouTube when I first started was how social the social network is. I've made some really fantastic friends over the years, from meeting fans at conventions to the friends I've made through collaborations and the mentors I've had the fortune of having in my life thanks to a common interest. In no particular order, I'm thankful to have been able to meet and hang out with Wood from Beat 'em Ups when we both had less than 500 subscribers. I'm grateful to have been able to make good friends with Jimmy Hoppa, and only recently got to finally meet the guy in person after Skype calling him in Japan for years. I'm humbled by John from Happy Console Gamer, who took me under his wing when I was going through some hard times in my life, and he was able to help provide some guidance. To all of the regulars who hang out with me on Twitch, I'm eternally grateful that you don't let me sit alone by myself to an audience of 0, and for the company you provide. And to you, yes, you, anonymous viewer, for taking the time to watch a video I put out that is neither an RPG review nor a news segment. If you're watching this, you're probably one of the most consistent viewers of the channel, and it is for you that I love making these videos. Thanks for being here.
You get it. You know what I mean? Once you get it, you're stuck for life, right?
Oh my god. Well, clearly.
Yeah. You have an
since.
entire channel devoted to RPGs, which is wonderful.
Spreading the good word. Have you heard about our Lord and Savior RPGs?
I know. That's what I feel like too. That's what I've been doing. Ease, please.
Number 1. Starting.
We have all heard it 1,000 times that it is not about the destination, it's the journey. And it's easy to take it for granted that this is simply telling you to try to enjoy the moments in life leading up to your goals. But that's really only half of it. To appreciate the journey, you have to appreciate where you started. And my journey started in May of 2013 with a review of Earthbound, the game that started my fandom of the genre all those years ago. How fitting it would be that it would become the starting point of a whole new journey that would lead me through finishing and reviewing over 80 RPGs so far, that would lead me to forging new friendships and being able to help entertain all of you, if only for a few fleeting moments every week. The number 1 spot of my favorite moments goes out to my first review, rough as it may be, because it is here that I took my first clumsy step that set me down the path. That moment of going out onto a limb, obviously far outside of my comfort zone. No idea what I was doing, no idea where the path would lead. This guy I'm showing you right now thinks his video series will be about collecting video games, for crying out loud. No idea he'd be reviewing RPGs like this one for years to come. He had no idea that he'd be here, on the precipice of a new decade, telling thousands of people about how proud he is of how far he's come and how grateful he is to have all of you in his community.
So this concludes my video on Earthbound. Let me know how it came out. Let me know below in the comments. Thumbs up or thumbs down. I want to know what you think. If I can do better, let me know how, and I'll bring you better videos. If you want to subscribe, that would be so cool.
But what do you think? Are there any of your favorite moments from the last decade of the game collection that didn't make the list? Share them down below. And as always, thanks for watching.